What's up guys, Fred here, the guy who will help you master Photoshop and make the whole world say, wow, how did you do that? So today we're going to create this amazing artwork. This one I created recently in my Instagram and it got over 1000 likes and everyone just loved it, and even the model who is on the image, she found herself and she tagged herself. That's so crazy, you know, there are so many people in the world and she saw this image. Mind-blowing, right? On the last video I showed you how this was created. During this video, we're gonna see how this was created step by step. And just to remind you, if you wanna create tons of cool creative artworks, make sure to go to learnfromfred.com, and there you will see tons of cool classes and even free classes that you can start with, or premium classes that teach you everything you need to know. With that said, let's get into our tutorial. This is the image we're going to use, and you will find the link to the image in the description so you can download it and use it as well. So first of all, of course, we need to import the image. Then we go to filter, other, and HSL, and here just have a look. So this actually helps us to give our image some creative colors, and here depending on what mode you choose, you're going to get different type of colors. Here we are going to choose HSL and RGB, and then just click OK. And just keep in mind, I'm actually showing this to you from a screen recording that I did during this tutorial, so that's why I can just pause and play the video. As you can see, the colors have changed. Here we have now smart filters and HSL adjustments here. So now we can go to adjustments and choose hue saturation layer. And as you can see, now we have to change the hue in order to give it some really nice colors. Now we're gonna go and create a mask for our image. So first we'll have to select the image and then click on create the mask, and then we choose our brush tool. And now we're going to make some holes in the face using our brush. As you can see, this kind of holes, these things, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I thought it would be cool with these ones. And as you can see here, we have a different type of brush. It's not a circle brush. In order to choose this kind of brush, you actually have to go to brush settings. So it's usually located behind this layer, but right now we don't see it. So if you want to find the brush settings panel, if you can't find it, actually you can go to window, and there you will see brush settings. How easy is that? And then you just click on that brush settings, and then you will see this kind of brush tip, not the circle one, okay? Because the circle one is just for usual and boring people. We are creative people, we have to use creative brushes. And then make sure you have here mask selected. Okay, you see the frame around mask, that means it's selected. And now we can, as you can see, start drawing with the brush. And also before you draw, actually make sure you have here mode normal, opacity 100%, flow 100%, and also make sure the color of your brush is black. As you can see, I'm just drawing to create this kind of interesting scars on her face, and we need to draw more and more. So I'm just gonna speed up this process so you don't have to watch the whole thing. So as you can see, I draw here a few more scars here, and here. Now we need to create just a solid color adjustment layer, just white color, and we need to bring it down in the layers hierarchy. And now click twice on the color in order to change it to light pink. And here, for example, you can just copy this code if you want to have exactly this type of color. I'm still choosing the color. So originally when I was creating this artwork, I actually tried to create some kind of cool lights that come out from these scar places, but it didn't work out. So that's why when I published it, actually, as you can see, there are no lights coming out from here. But I will also show you how to create the lights effect coming out from there, and if you want to, you can do it. If you don't want to, then you don't have to do it. So now just pay attention that I created here a brightness contrast layer, but I turned it off, so we don't actually need it. That's why you don't need to create it, okay? And we're actually going to create exposure layer, and we're just going to pump up the exposure to make it really bright. So now when we have created this layer and make it really bright, as you can see, this mask is white. We actually need to make this mask black so we don't see the exposure effect anywhere on the image. So basically we need to invert this color from white to black. In order to do that, you can actually click a hotkey, which is Ctrl+I if you're using Windows. If you're using Mac, it's Command+I. Just make sure when you click it, actually your mask is selected. And we invert the mask. As you can see, now it's black. And now we have to take brush tool. As you can see, I go now to brush settings, and then I change my brush to a circle brush, as you can see, and also make sure hardness is 0%. So it's really smooth, just like my skin. Well, actually my skin is not that smooth, I have to shave. So, and now as you can see, for example, when we are on this mask, exactly this black mask is selected. If we color with white color, so again, mask has to be black, color needs to be white color. Okay, that's very important. opacity 100%, flow 100%. If I click once here, as you can see my brush is right now here, if I just click once there, not draw but just one click, okay, and then I hold shift and click another time somewhere here, Photoshop is automatically going to draw a line from point A when I clicked here to point B. So basically you click once here and then you hold shift and click second time here, and Photoshop, see what's going to do? Boom! As you can see, Photoshop automatically created a line from here to here. And we also see it in our exposure mask. So that basically means that right now we are seeing the exposure only here and everything else is black. That's why we don't see the exposure anywhere else. And we're going to add more of exposure lights coming out. As you can see, second time we do again, click once and then hold shift and click again, third time, and so on. And now when we actually have done it, as you can see, this is too rough, so we need to make it a little bit blurry, so we need to smooth it out so it looks more realistic. That's why we need to make sure first of all we select this exposure mask. That's very important, this has to be selected, and then we go to filter, we go to blur, and then we choose motion blur or any other type of blur, but I decided to choose motion blur. Motion blur actually helps us to make the objects blurry, but also almost like they are in motion, so they are moving really fast. And for example, as you can see here, we have the angle of the motion right now is going to go diagonal, so from here to here. And also we have a distance. Distance basically means how strong is going to be the blur effect. As you can see, when I make it bigger, look here, you see that it's actually changing. It's getting more and more smooth. Can you say that? Or it's smoother? Anyway. Boom, as you can see now it's pretty smooth, and as you can see I'm just doing the same thing over and over to other parts of this place. Now finally we're going to go and create this gradient things that come out from the sunglasses, so basically the rainbow. So for that, first of all we need to create a new empty layer, so just click here to create a new layer. As you can see it's created. Here we have our new layer, it has to be empty, and make sure it's on the top. And then we need to go and choose our gradient tool, okay, so this one here. As you can see we choose it, and then we go to our default gradient types, and Photoshop already has this kind of gradients as default, and here you're going to find this rainbow gradient. It must be there as a default gradient, okay. Boom, we choose it. So here when you choose actually this gradient, make sure you have here this type of linear gradient selected. Make sure mode is normal, opacity is 100%. In order to draw gradient vertically, we need to draw from the left to the right. As you can see my mouse is here, so I'm just gonna click here and drag to the right. Boom, click and drag to the right. As you can see the gradient is created, and here we already have our gradient. So now we need to convert it into a smart object. For that we just click right button on the layer, and then when we click the right button we have to choose here this one, convert to smart object. Boom. So now as you can see we have here this kind of icon, which basically means it's a smart object right now. And now I need to transform it, so I need to make it actually smaller, really tiny. And for that we need to choose free transform tool, or you could also click, if you're using Windows, yeah, you can click Ctrl+T. If you're using Mac, you can click Command+T. Okay guys, just remember these hotkeys, they are very important. I'm already tired from repeating them in every single video. I need to drink something, this is too exhausting. So now again Ctrl or Command+T. So here as you can see I'm making it smaller, and as you can see it's actually scaling down proportionally. So if I make this part of this side of the object smaller, also this side is also getting smaller, okay. And one very important thing to say, so if you are using the latest version of Photoshop, which is 2019, objects are automatically resized proportionally. So if you are resizing one side, other side is also getting resized, okay. And if you want to resize them not proportionally, for example if you want to make this really tall and not touch this side, then you need to hold shift. Again, if you are using Photoshop 2019 you need to hold shift. If you are using Photoshop older than 2019 you don't need to hold shift to do that, okay. You just can click and resize. So for example here as you can see, and now look, as you can see now it's full tall. That's because I hold it shift and this automatically changed. So now as you can see this and this side are not proportional. Anyway, you will get what I mean when you actually create this thing. So as you can see again I hold shift, and now when I release shift now it's again proportional. So again I need to make it bigger now and smaller. So again just play with shift and without shift, and boom, I have to make it small again, and then we just need to place it to the right place, okay. Just make it perfect. And now in order to actually make it go like this, just like the Italian what is this thing called, the building in Italy, This is the one that like this. Anyway, so that's why we have to click right on this object, and then we need to choose perspective, this one here. So as you can see, boom, we choose perspective, and now we can go up here, click on this middle click, and then we can just click and drag it to the left, and as you can see, it's getting down. As you can see, now we need to choose scale in order to scale it up a little bit. So we have to play with perspective and scale, so you have to play with it yourself, okay? Like, I can't come to you and just hold your hand with the mouse. Okay, that did sound wrong. Yeah, it did. Just click OK to confirm the transformation. Now I'm gonna add some blur, and for that we actually need to go to filter, blur, and then here we need to choose motion blur. Okay, just click on this, just the things that we already used, and here you can just play with the angle and actually make it bigger, smaller, and blah blah blah. And yeah, as you can see, it looks so good. And just try not to make sure it's not too much. A little bit down, and then you click OK when you think it's good enough, and then you just have to create a copy of this object already. In order to create a copy, you can hold Alt for Windows, or you can hold Option for Mac, or you can just click right here on this layer and then choose duplicate layer and click OK. So there are many ways to create a copy. But as you can see, now we just replicate it there. Almost done, guys, almost done, so close. So now as you can see right now, I'm going to turn off all of this bright shiny things, because I thought I didn't really like how they look. But again, if you wanna leave them, you can leave them. If you don't want to, then you don't have to leave them, okay? It's up to you. So I'm just gonna turn them off. Okay, and now finally, after 3 hours of experimenting, when I was actually creating this artwork, I decided that I don't want to use the shiny things in the artwork, and now we're going to continue. So I'm going to go to filter. Just make sure you choose one of these rainbows. I wanted to say Rambos. Rambo, you remember the Rambo guy, the one with the gun? So you just choose a layer, you go to filter, you go to noise, and then you go to add noise. And then as you can see, now we need to choose the amount of noise that we actually want to add, and also distribution, so we can choose different types of noise. You can play with these things. You can also turn on this and turn off and turn it off. It's going to look differently depending on what you choose. And then we're going to set the amount 20. So 20 is fine, and just click OK. And now we need to do the same to the second rainbow. As you can see, this one is already noisy, and we need to add noise also to this one. So we have to choose the second rainbow, and then again we have to go to filter, noise, add noise, and just click OK. I'm just gonna do it the quick way. Boom. And as you can see, now we all have also added the second noise here. As you can see, both of them now have add noise. And again, I'm just gonna do it the quick way. You have to go to filter, noise, and then add noise. Okay, so for this image, and I'm just gonna do it with shortcuts. As you can see, now this add noise filter is open, and here again we have to choose the amount of noise, and I'm gonna choose 20 as well. Oh no, I'm gonna choose 16 actually. I'm surprised actually. Me from the past, when I was recording this, surprised me from the future. How crazy is that? Einstein would be proud of me. Click OK. Finally we are done. Yeah, we finally did that, guys. Good job. You and me and you. Together we're power. And yeah, I'm planning to create this one like more often, so this kind of tutorials. And again, just make sure to go to my website learnfromword.com, and there have really cool classes and artworks that you will not find anywhere on YouTube. I'm seriously, okay? Every time I'm trying to show my classes to people, some people tell me, but you can find it all on YouTube. It's for free. Well, actually no, there are few things that you can't find on YouTube, and I'm actually showing the things in my classes, okay? So I'm actually giving real valuable content, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and this was also valuable for you guys. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer. I usually reply like within an hour maximum, if I'm not traveling somewhere to Mars or Jupiter or Saturn. You know, it's just the usual stuff on the weekends. So yeah, see you. Bye.